Looking for control and feel? This is the Tennis Warehouse racket review of the Yonex Percept 97D. Featuring new technology from Yonex called Servo Filter, this racket feels comfortably flexible in all the right ways, plus it's stable. The 97 square inch racket features a tighter 18x20 string pattern and a 21mm beam with an elongated shaft for flex and pocketing. In addition to its impressive plow-through, the Percept 97D's combination of mass-based power and surgical precision make it dangerous in the hands of experienced players. In 2023, I think I've play tested more 18x20 pattern rackets than I have the whole time I've been at Tennis Warehouse, which is starting to lead me to think maybe I should consider one as a racket of choice. And with this play test, I got to test this 18x20 Percept alongside the heavier model as well as the standard 97. And out of those three, normally this would be the third one on the list that I gravitate towards. However, as the play test went on, this was the first racket I was grabbing to hit with out of those three. I absolutely love this racket, mainly because it felt amazing and fluid on my forehand. No matter where I was in the court, I felt super connected to my shots, specifically down the line as well as my inside out forehand. And then transitioning into point play, I found a ton of confidence pulling the trigger on down the line shots, even if I was out of position and going for low percentage balls. I thought the downside of this playtest might be on serve and wasn't expecting it to perform as well as that 97H. However, it delightfully surprised me and I loved serving with this racket. I found enough mass and tons of pinpoint precision when hitting my target, so I was super connected and felt really dialed in there as well. I have so much more to gush about, but you're gonna have to go see the written comments for the rest of it, but it was such a fun playtest.
Very excited to be here today to talk about Yonex's update to their 97D line, the Percept 97D. I have been a huge fan of this frame for quite some time. This is the third generation. Unlike Michelle, she wasn't really expecting to love it. I have really high expectations. I've been successful competitively and in point play with the second generation. Starting with the HD, it had a thin beam, stacked an extra millimeter graphite for the D, for the VCore Pro, and with this one, it is still a 21mm beam, but I definitely sense a little more firmness off the face, giving you even a little bit more put-away power. So although this would be considered a traditional frame construction, you're definitely getting a dose of more of a modern feel with that cheap source of energy return. Really crisp feel, hard to tell exactly where the outstanding vibration control is coming from, being that the frame is a little firmer, but I'm going to kind of blame it on the servo control down near the throat. Seems to be doing a very good job at kind of maintaining the feel and vibration control while still giving you the benefit of the energy return off the stiffer layup of graphite. 1820s are notoriously a little challenging for me. So long as I had a 125mm or thinner string in this, I felt like I was getting the best of both worlds, an easy grip on the ball for topspin rotation or backhand slice, but I also was getting enough lift for easy net clearance, that arc on the ball. Overall, this racket delivered on all fronts, better than I expected. Really enjoyable play test and frame overall.
Playtesting this Percept 97D side by side with the H, the heavier version. Really love both rackets, both having lots of comfort, tons of control and feel, which is something that I really look for in a racket, and just very predictable. Haven't played with the 97 square inch Yonex in a while, but it takes me back to some years ago when I used to play with the 330. I just felt confident no matter what I was doing, picking my spots. From the baseline, very predictable, very precise. Didn't really have to think about much, and when I came to the net, I really loved the touch and the feel and the precision of this racket. I would say overall, I like that this D was slightly more maneuverable than the H, the 330. So from the baseline and on like some of my spin serves, kick serves, it really did help me out a bit, just getting that added maneuverability. Although I do typically prefer the 16-19 just for that little bit extra launch angle and top spin on my ground strokes. There's a lot of good 18-20 rackets on the market, from the TF40 to the Dunlop CX to the Gravity Pro, and I'd say this might be just my favorite of the bunch. Just really good in stock form, nice feel, nice weight to it, and just an overall really predictable racket. I'm gonna keep hitting the D and the H more and more and just see which one I end up sticking with.
Found this 97D to be a really beefy racket. Surprised with how much mass it came through the ball. We had a couple of them. One of our playtest rackets got really close to the H-spec It's just a ton of plow through from it. And I really liked it when I was going down the line or when I was set up to hit a cross-court deep shot as opposed to trying to roll an angle and be super creative. I actually found the VCore Pro 97D a little bit more flicker ball. I can roll angles with that better, be more creative with that one. This one offers a more solid feel. I think it's got really nice plow through power and comfort from it. I thought it was super stable at net and on the returner serve too, where I was taking a really compact backswing. I could use the mass of this racket to really drive through the ball. And I really found the racket to play very, very stable in both of those situations. It was one of the most impressive parts of the play test for me. I did like serving with it. I got good pace on my serves. I was able to get enough rotation on the ball. Easier racket for me to use on serve than the H spec, which is just super mass-based power. This one I was able to snap the racket around the ball a little bit and get some slice on it. So my slice kick out wide was working really well with this racket. Had some fun time serving with that one. So fun play test for me.
We had a chance to play test the Percept 97D with a bunch of string setups, but today specifically you're seeing us hit with Yonex Poly Tour Pro at 52 pounds. To learn more about this racket and many others, please visit us at Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.